Why do all the ladies in the kingdom, including married women, want to marry this particular young man called Uche? Lock up your doors and let's find out in this amazing story. In a small village called Orie, there lived two brothers named Emeka and Uche. They had lost their parents in a motor accident while they were still very little. Emeka was a kind-hearted fellow, very easygoing man, and this made all the ladies in the kingdom always wanted to be around him. They always loved spending time with him. But Uche was very unlike his brother, and this was why he never got anyone's attention. He always envied his brother's muscular structure and always wished to be the one with everyone's attention. Emeka and Uche were very poor, to the extent that even poor people in the village now referred to them as poor. One day, Emeka and Uche were strolling down the bush when they met an old woman sitting by the roadside begging for alms. Uche passed her, but Emeka, out of sympathy, stopped and gave her the only coin that he had. The old woman quickly thanked him and gave him a strange old-looking bucket. "My son, thank you very much. I have been staying here since and nobody have accepted to give me anything. I am not an ordinary human being. I have been watching you all from above. I was only sent down here to reward people who are grateful. Take this bucket. It has the power to grant you any of your wishes, but it must be one wish a day, and you must never ever allow anyone to know the secret of your wealth. And don't forget that it will only last for 4 days." The two brothers thanked her in fear and went home. They began to think on what the old woman told them. They saw this as an opportunity to come out from the wretched poverty they were in. But Uche doubted the old woman. He couldn't believe that a dirty old-looking bucket will have the power to grant all their wishes. What if this old woman is lying? What if she just needed somebody to hold her bucket? Okay, let me test it. I wish for your head to become very big. And instantly, Emeka's head began to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, heavier than he could ever carry. "You fool! You have just wasted our first wish on a very irrelevant thing." Uche was dumbfounded. He looked very surprised at Emeka's enlarged head. He then said to himself, "Wow, so this bucket actually works, eh? Well, at least no lady would want to come near him in this his funny condition." When some people came to visit Emeka, they were very shocked on seeing Emeka's enlarged head. They burst out laughing as they all ran to their house, telling the other villagers about the enlarged head. Emeka could not bear the shame any longer. His head was heavy and it was really aching him. Early the next morning, Emeka woke up and wished that his head could return back to normal, and immediately it happened. Emeka was happy but also sad at the same time because he just realized that he had wasted another wish. When Uche woke up from his sleep, he was so shocked on seeing Emeka back to his normal form. "Don't tell me you have just wasted another wish. How dare you use a wish without informing me? You should have thought of that before turning me into a monster," Emeka said angrily and left the house. Uche began to think to himself that he really needed to do something very fast. He wanted to make sure that he made all the ladies in the village to be all over him. He quickly took the bucket and hid it in a place that Emeka wouldn't find it easily. Meanwhile, Emeka had made up his mind to wish for 4 bags of gold and silver early the next morning so that he could be able to save him and his brother from the hands of poverty. When night came, Uche did not sleep. He stayed awake all night until it was 12 midnight. He quietly took out the bucket and said, "I wish to become very muscular and attractive so that all the ladies in this kingdom will fall for me." And immediately he said that, he transformed into a very handsome muscular man. He was too handsome that even the birds in the night sang with joy. He kept on admiring himself in the mirror and said to himself, "No lady can ever resist me now." When Emeka woke up that morning, he was shocked on seeing his brother's structure. "What? How dare you waste another wish on your selfish desires? We could have used that wish for money so that we can end this poverty. And now you have just ended up wasting our third wish. That's enough. I'm done hearing you and your preaching. Do you think I feel good watching how all the girls flaunt around you? I deserve to get the ladies' attention, not you. And now I saw an opportunity to get what I always dreamt of, and you want me to just throw it away? No way, he said as he went out of the house angrily. He began to stroll around the village, and all the ladies in the community began to fall in love with him, including married women. They began to fight among themselves on who would get his attention. He enjoyed the sight of this, and the men in the community began to whisper angrily among themselves. They were not happy of what was going on, but they were afraid to confront Uche because of his muscular structure. Can you imagine? My wife is telling me that she is going to leave me to go and marry that guy called Uche. My brother, it is not only you. Oh, imagine. The girl I wanted to marry said that she was no longer interested in me. She said that she wanted to leave me to marry that Uche. My brother, this is serious. So what do we do now? Because this is becoming very, very strange. Uche began to host parties in his house, and he would invite all the ladies in the community to come and party with him. Emeka was unaware of this because he had left the house to visit someone. Uche saw a very beautiful lady in his party. He was struck by her beauty that he could not resist her. He took her into his inner room and engaged her in a discussion. They kept on chatting and laughing together. And then she asked him a very shocking question. She asked him about the secret to his sudden transformation. But Uche, remembering what the old woman had warned him against, he refused to tell her. She kept on intoxicating him with wine until he finally became drunk, and he began to confess about the secret bucket that was hidden under his bed. His brother immediately rushed into the room, shouting and exclaiming, "What are you doing? Don't you remember what the old woman warned us about?" he said, putting his hand on his head. And just then, the beautiful lady transformed into the same old lady that they had met in the forest. But this time around, she looked more like a witch, and a lot of snakes filled the room. "You fools, you all have failed the test. Now I can have you all to myself. Hand over my bucket to me." Uche began to search and search under the bed and all around the room, but the bucket was nowhere to be found. He became terrified as he didn't know what to do. The two brothers had no other option than to run. They ran and ran until they got to a thick forest. Uche drastically returned back to his normal plain shape. Emeka was filled with bitterness as he turned to his brother and shouted, "You fool! You just made us lose our only chance of making money out of your selfish ambitions. Now we have no other option to make money again," he said in tears as he sat under a tree. Uche was dumbfounded. It was then that it dawned on him on what his selfish desires had led them into. He began to shed tears as he sat under a tree. Just then, an old man came out of the forest. He noticed the mood of the two brothers, and he walked up to them and said, "My sons, why are your faces like this? You don't need wishes to achieve your dream and goals in life. All you need to do is to put in your hard work and persistence, and you will get to the top. If wishes were given to humans, we will surely misuse it. So boys, rise up and show the world that there is something in you that even wishes cannot get." The two brothers stood up and cleaned their tears with hope in their hearts, now assuring them that they had a brighter future. They marched into the village with the assurance that through hard work they could achieve anything. The end. I hope you guys watching this story learned something, right? Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. What will you do if you were Emeka after seeing what your own brother had led you into? Let me also know in the comment section what you will do if you were given those 4 wishes. Don't forget to share these stories to your friend. See you in our next story. Goodbye for now.